Okay.
We've been studying about Ahab and Elisha and Elijah. I don't know where Elisha and Elijah were when this story takes place. They are not in it, but Ahab is. Ahab was the king of the nation Israel. Remember, during the time of Rehoboam, Solomon's son, Israel split into two different kingdoms. The northern one called Israel and the southern one called Judah. And Ahab ruled the northern country. The man ruling the southern country was named Jehosaphat. Now Jehosaphat actually loved the Lord. And to us it is. It probably wasn't to them, but to us it's a strange name. But he really loved the Lord. But he went to visit Ahab one day. And when they were visiting, Ahab said to Jehosaphat, "You know what? I really want to go fight my neighbor nation. Will you come with me?"
Why do you want to fight?
They were enemies, so that's what kings do.
Wait, which one is this?
Ahab wanted to go fight his enemies. And he asked Jehosaphat to go with him, and Jehosaphat said, "Sure, I'll go with you. I'll bring my army, and I guess this is what they did instead of barbecues in those days. I don't know. So Jehosaphat said, "But before we go, we need to find out if God is on our side," which is always a wise thing to do. So Ahab called for all his prophets, and they all came and they said, "Go fight, because you're going to win, Ahab, and everything's going to be great." And Jehosaphat said, "You know what? None of these men actually worship the I Am of Israel. They don't worship the right God. I want a prophet from the right God." And Ahab said, "We got one hanging around here, but I don't like him, because every time he prophesies something bad against me." And Jehosaphat said, No, we've got to hear from God. So reluctantly, Ahab sent for the man, brought him in, and the man said, "Oh, yeah, Ahab, you're going to win, you're going to prosper." Yeah. And Ahab said, "How many times do I have to tell you to only tell me what God really tells you? You don't lie to me when you're in here. You tell me the truth." And the guy said, "Okay, you're going to die in battle. You're not going to win. Your people are going to be scattered. You're not going to win."
So they actually fit the war?
No. Instead, Ahab put the prophet back in jail and said, "Don't feed him right till I get back." And the prophet said, "If you come back, I'm not a true prophet of God, because you're not coming back." Then Ahab tells Jehosaphat, "In this war, I'm going to disguise myself as a common soldier. But you put on..."
Guys, why are you doing the war?
"You put on the king's kind of robes, so it's obvious you're a king." And Jehoshaphat was stupid enough to go along with that idea. They got in the middle of battle, and do my scene change here? They got in the middle of battle, and the enemy went after Jehosaphat because it looked like he was the king of Israel. They realized they had the wrong guy, and so they left him alone, but they started fighting the army. And one of the soldiers took a bow and just shot an arrow. He didn't aim, he just shot it up in the air, hoping it'd hit one of the enemy soldiers. It hit Ahab. Ahab had his chariot driver get him out of the battle, and they parked by a place where they could see what was going on. But when evening came, Ahab died, just like that prophet had prophesied.
Why did you start the war, man?
Well, that's more complicated than I want to go into. Do you remember there being another prophecy about Ahab's death? What was that? The dogs would lick up his blood in the same place they licked up Nahor?
A guy.
My brain just went blank. Where they licked up the guy that Ahab murdered, where they licked his blood. Well, after Ahab died, they took his chariot to that pond to wash the blood out of it, and guess what cleaned it up? The dogs. Every prophecy God had sent to Ahab to try to get him to repent and turn to God, every prophecy came true. Every one of them. It's a powerful God we serve. Those who love him are under his care. Those who rebel against him are not. And that's your only two choices. Rebellion against God or service to God. There's no other option. So, okay, let's sing a song. I am my beloved, and he is mine. His banner over me is love. I am my beloved, and he is mine. His banner over me is love. I am my beloved, and he is mine. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. He brought me to his banqueting table. His banner over me is love. He brought me to his banqueting table. His banner